Hey all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. Well, collaboration time. As I was saying last week, whenever it was, this is the 12 Days of Christmas, run by Junk Journal Fix with Sunflowers and Doors and Julie from Papercraft with Julie's Papercraft. Now, we've got so many wonderful ladies joining in this collaboration. You'll find that there's 2 each day for those of you that haven't heard of it before. It is each day of the song, so the 12 Days of Christmas. Now for me, of course, it is the 5th of December, and a 5th of December is 5 golden rings. Do you know how hard it is to say that without actually singing it? I've been practicing all day. Thank you very much. So do follow along. You'll find that there's a playlist for it. I will try and link that in my description box. I'll see how I go tech-wise with that. There has been some wonderful ones up already. Do go back, watch them all. As I said before, mine is the 5th, and I'm not going to say it again. What I'd like to show you today is not necessarily journal related. I know. What I've done is a Christmas decoration. Now, it is a Christmas decoration, but we're going to show you how to do it, we're going to do a smaller one that you can also use as a Christmas card. You can still put it up as a decoration, but it's small enough to be sent as a Christmas card. I will take you over in a moment and show you what I've done, because I need to wait for it to get a little bit darker. Hint, hint. We are going to go on and make a smaller one, and I've rescaled the smaller one so that we can make it off a standard 12 by 12 inch cardstock. You want something fairly thick. The one I have made that I will be showing you is 9 inches high and 13 inches wide, so you'll need a larger piece. But for now, I'm going to turn you off, I'm going to turn you on and take you over there. No, it's not a studio tour, it's just a slightly smaller spot that I managed to tidy up to put this on, and then we'll come back and we'll do this. So here's my project. What we have is a little light box. If I take you round, you'll see that it's open inside. It'll fold flat, well without the lights. But later on, we will actually, I'll turn it on again when it gets darker in here so that you can see the lights. Now these lights I found in like our version of the dollar shop for $2.75. I bought white ones and I bought multicoloured ones. But after looking at them, I decided the multicoloured ones were the way to go. So you'll see my ladies, there's 5 with their hands out for their 5 golden rings. There they are with their house. We've got snow in here as well. Now the snow was made with a mixture of texture paste with a pile of crystal glitter. Pile of it. So, I'm sorry I'm a little bit wonky because I'm holding it up. We've got our nutcracker on the side, our house, lots of music behind, and then all done in a wood grain sheet. So I want to show you how to make one of these, but just slightly smaller so that they're more manageable. And we'll come back to this later on once it's gone dark in this room and you see the full effect of the lights. So I hope you liked it. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. I know it's not journal related, but I had it in my mind all the way through from when I was asked, and then they decided to tell us all that it was 12 Days of Christmas, which kind of threw me, but I think I got it down. I will go back to it later on and we'll go through it bit by bit, and I'll give you all the sizes if you do wish to make that size. But for the one we're going to make right now, we can get it done out of a 12 by 12 inch piece of cardstock. So what you'll need is a piece that is 11 3/4 long and 6 3/4 high. Okay, we're going to score this one. I just grabbed my scoreboard. Now these can be made as I said, for cards. They can be made for Christmas cards, they can be made for birthday cards, they can be just made for decoration. It's up to you, but they are so easy to make. So here are all our sizes. So what we're going to do is just score this. I'm just seeing if I've cut that straight. Yes, it's fairly straight. It's a little bit wobbly. So we're going to score it at 3/4 of an inch. Now the cardstock I've got is a really thick, heavyweight cardstock. This is just the pieces that were left over from my large one. They don't need to be this thick. I reckon this would have to be nearly a 400 GSM cardstock. So, and then we're going to score it at 5 inches. Oop, I told you it's thick. So at 5 inches. Then we're going to score it at 5 3/4. Like so. And then at 6 1/2, which is another 3/4 of an inch along. Like so. Then at 10 3/4. Like that. And then at 11 1/2. So you've just got a little 1/4 of an inch piece on the end, which will join it all together. That's it. Your scoreboard can be put away. Just leave those sitting there if you haven't written them already down. So, getting a bone folder again, we're now going to fold this. So this is our first one. I'm going to use this as the front, and I've turned it that way. So my 11 3/4 is now top to bottom. Folding this one in, give it a good push. Now, mine are going to need it a lot because they are so thick. You won't need it this thick, truly, really. That's that one. This one's going to go that way as well, so that we've made a little U shape. Now, our next one, which is where we've got 2 of these, that's going to go the other way, okay? Because what we're making is a valley. Give that a good push. Turn it over, give it a better push. Like so. So now we've got that. This one again is going to go that way. So you can see that we've got our little valley where all that will sit in. Because this will end up folding flat for you, as I said before, which means you can pop it in an envelope if you like. Right, so now we've got that. These ones, this one will need to fold in on itself as well. Folding that one over. And then this one is our last one, which we will use to attach the 2 of them together. So that one's going to fold back this way. So if you look at that, starting at the start where we folded our first 3/4 of an inch, this is our front. This is the top, this is the back, and the base. So this one needs to fold that way, which is really difficult with this weight card. I don't recommend this thick a cardstock for this smaller size. Alright, as I said, it was just my scraps that were still sitting around. So that's what we've ended up with, okay, because that will then be used to sit in there, which will close it all up once we've made it, so that we've got that. Does that make sense? This is our front, so I'm just going to write on a pencil with that one, front, so our back, okay, and it's going to go that way. Right, first things first, we're going to ink around it. Now I'm inking around it just so that if my papers don't completely cover, it will not show the white. You could do this in a coloured cardstock, you could do this in a patterned 12 by 12. I would probably go more into, say, the 49 and Market papers, because they're a really thick paper or cardstock than a lot of the scrapbook paper, so you're going to need something fairly thick. So I've already done that little bit where I've inked it, so you can see here, there it all is folded. That'll go in there like that, that'll go up, that'll go up. Okay, so I've inked around this front section. So what I'm going to do with this front section, now both Julie and Mandy have put out freebies for this. So if you're a member of the Junk Journal group, as I said before, Junk Journal Fix, Mandy is Sunflowers and Doors, you will find the freebies on there. If not, jump over, join the group. It's a great group. Join the group and you'll find all the freebies. So I've pulled out some of the freebies for this, and I've pulled out a couple of colours. I've decided to go blue with this one. And I just want a plain one, and I'm going to adhere that straight on the front like that. So you can see it's not quite wide enough, but I'll give myself a little bit of inking around it. So that can be just glued straight on. Glue stick will work the best, which is here. Right, glue that one on. Pull out some more glue. Now when you glue them on, because it's a wet glue, it's going to want to buckle a little bit. If you've got time, like my big one, I did over a couple of days. So I had time, drying time, and then I weighted it down to flatten it back out again as I went each night. So grab my little doobie. Now it's up to you if you want to cover this top section. You can just ink that if you like. You can pop strips of paper on that. For this one, to keep the time down, I'm going to leave it. You'll see, you saw with my big one that I've got stuff up there. So that's my front. My inside piece is inked as well, and I'd like this one on it. As I said, just going with the blues. So we're going to glue that one down straight away as well. Exactly the same way. And more ink, more glue again. I can't tell you how much glue I went through with the big one. Oh my word. Right. So I thought I'd do this collaboration because I love doing collaborations. Love the girls over at Junk Journal Bics. So I've done one also this year, I think it was in August, maybe. I'd done one then with them as well, and we are now, it is the 5th of December, well, it's not the 5th of December just yet, so it is only the day before. I'm, you know, right on the cusp of being late with this, so I thought I'd do this because I can't guarantee how many more videos I'm going to get out prior to Christmas. So, because we're really busy at work, and Christmas is fast coming at what, 3 weeks away. This is from one of the sheets as well. I'll pull out one of the sheets. So that's this sheet, which is actually the 10th day of Christmas with the Lords a Leaping, but I loved the blue Christmas tree in this. So here's my Christmas tree, and I want that one round about there. I want to lift it up a little bit though. So the best way to lift it up, you can use foam. I quite often use chipboard, okay? So all I'll do with that, and you'd think I would have had these ones cut prior, is I'm just going to cut a couple of strips, about 1/4 of an inch I suppose they'd be, I don't know, about that. Depends on what I'm doing, I suppose, too, depending on the size that I need. My knife is starting to go blunt with the amount of fussy cutting that I have done this week, because it's all been cut out with my knife. Right. And that. Right. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to glue those two together, because I want about that thickness. Okay. A little bit of glue. Little bit of glue, little bit of glue, little bit of glue. Right. Now we've got a little bit of glue. Just like so. Put my lid on that before it dies again. Just going to adhere this one to that one. You want them about the same size. If they're a little bit off, it's not going to make too much difference. It's not really going to make any difference, okay? So give that a little bit of time to dry, and you don't need much. Well, you don't need much at the moment if it's Christmas in Australia because it's quite warm. Christmas elsewhere, you might need to give it a little bit of time. Right, and all I'm going to do is chop some pieces, okay? So that it's like using foam, but it gives me larger pieces. And then all I can do is just pop them on like so. So while I've got you all here, I just want to say, just in case I don't get any more out for the rest of the year, I don't know how I'm going to go, I just want to say Merry Christmas. Thank you all for being with me for the year. It's been lovely. I know I've been a bit missing in action quite a bit this year. Been just a little bit going on. Hopefully next year there'll be more me. I don't know if that's a good thing. Is it a good thing? But while I also have you, I just want to give a shout out to Sharon, who would have to be my #1 supporter. Thank you so much, Sharon, for all my wonderful coffees this year through Ko-fi. It's just been such a pleasure. And I hope you're keeping warm, because we're warm, so I'm sending you some warmth, okay? Right. Now, see how I've got a little one here? And I'm just going to glue a little bit of that one onto that one again, just so I've got some smaller pieces. I will use those for other projects. I've usually got a pile of them sitting in a container over there. Right, so I want a little bit smaller to sit down there. They don't get handled, so they're not going to bend down. If you've got a few areas that don't have chipboard or something on them, they'll be fine. And that one will fit just there. It's up to you how many you put on or what you put on, etc. So there we go. So now that will lift up like so, and just give it a little bit of dimension, okay? So we're going to actually pop this one on. And again, I'm just gluing, just using my normal glue. You could use double-sided tape if you like. Put the lid on that, Kylie. And I'm going, whoop, dropped everything. Good thing I had the lid on that. We all know what glitter's like. Alright, so I want that in just a little bit. Down just a little bit. So there's my Christmas tree. And what I also want to do with my Christmas tree is I've just got a glitter pen here, and I'm just going to fill in a few of those baubles, not the baubles, the little chains, just to give it a bit of bling. Just makes a little bit of difference. Again, gives it a little bit of texture. You don't have to do all of them, just the odd ones. Another thing that would look really nice, and unfortunately I'm not going to do it right now because it won't dry in time, would be some glossy accents on the actual larger baubles. They would look beautiful. Let's just do a little few there, big one there. How's that? I'll do a little bit in there. Lovely. And I'm going to do that bit up here, whatever that is, and just fill that completely in. Right. So that's my little Christmas tree. I've got my 5 golden rings wording that's going up there, which I actually don't think I've printed out. You'll know what I mean. It's the same as... knocking everything. Same as this. but it has on the 5th day of Christmas. That's in the kit, and because I used one already in the big one, I don't think I've reprinted it out, and I wanted that up here. Let's go to the front. This is my front. This is all now beautifully dried. What we want to do is we're going to measure in and we're going to cut this out. If you do a slightly smaller size, or if you have a large die cutting machine, they look beautiful with a die cut piece cut out of there that's in these wonderful shapes. This one is a little bit large for my standard Big Shot. I've got the Big Shot Pro, but I couldn't be bothered going out into the shed and getting it. So I just thought we'll cut it out straight. Simple as that. Right, so what we want to do, if we look back at this one, we can see round about, and I'm thinking, let's say, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 of an inch. 5/8 of an inch will work nicely. Yep. Let's go 5/8 of an inch all the way around. Before we do that, I just need to trim that little bit, I'm thinking. Otherwise my measurements are going to look off, aren't they? Right. There we go. That one and that one. Just down there. That looks a bit better. Yep, that looks a bit better. It was hanging over just a tad. So we're going to go 5/8 of an inch. Now, if you like, you can do this on the inside where you don't have to worry about pencil marks. Or you can do them on the outside. Let's do it on the inside, and then we don't have to worry too much about pencil marks, and we can do the whole thing. So 5/8 of an inch. 5/8 of an inch, or a bit over 1.5 centimetres. Sorry, I've done all this in inches again. I just find it's been scrapbooking too long. I've just worked in inches. Alright, so I'm just going to rule these so that we can see where we're going, and I don't have to worry about pencil lines because it's on the inside. Same with the top and the bottom. So going from my crease line, and with over here, and ruling that one like so. I'm going to go across my line so I can see exactly where I'm going to. On there, 5/8 of an inch is there. Same with this one. They don't necessarily have to be all the same. I just think it looks a bit more uniformed if they're all the same. But then again, if you do them with dies and you get those beautiful frame dies, they just look gorgeous. Right, so there's my opening. I now need to cut that out. So I'm going to cut from here to here. Now, if you're using a blade like I am, just be careful and probably don't go all the way to your edge. You can start right up in the top corner, and I'm having to give this quite a few goes because it's thick and my blade is getting blunt. I'm going to go to this one now, do the same thing, right up into that corner and just before it finishes. Take your time with it, don't rush, because the last thing you want to do is go past your cut lines. Now this one, you can see why I've taken my pencil lines across so that I can run it down there and I still know where I'm starting and finishing. Okay. And the same with this one. I'm just going to go here for this one. Down, right up into that corner, and then I can manually, I was going to say. That's not the right word. What do I want? Freehand my little bits that I've missed right up in here. Okay. So that one's out. Just on there. That one's out. And that. And that one. And that one is just missing. Line it up straight again. Right. There's my aperture at the front. So you can see when all this folds down, that'll fold back into that. That one will fold up into there. And you just want a piece of acetate. Now, mine come from all sorts of places. So this one is one that's been off a binder. I don't know if you can see how they've got the holes in them. So it's been something that I've found, Nop Shop or whatever else, and it's been the binder, and I've taken it off that. So we want to make this just a little bit larger than that. So what I'm going to do is grab a permanent marker. I can. Ooh. Sit it on there. I'm planning on using just the 1/4 inch double-sided tape to attach that. So I need to go about there. And I need to go about there. That can be chopped off. I'm going to move that one over. Big ruler. Sit this on my grid. If you've got a trimmer, you can use your trimmer for it. That's fine. Just watch that it doesn't move as you go, because quite often acetate will want to slide. So I'm holding lots of pressure on my blade. No, I'm not. I'm holding it on my ruler, and I'm doing lots of little narrow ones with my blade. Okay, I'm just going to snip that because I didn't want my blade to get caught in that. Right, so that's that one, and then that one will go just there. Sitting that on that one. Like so. Just little thin light cuts until it goes through. Let's have a look. There we go. Now, so I need some double-sided tape. Just that one. So just my 1/4 inch one. And I'm going to use my double-sided tape on the inside all the way around. If I can find actually where the start is, I'll be right. And as close as you can to the edge without going over the edge. Like so. And that, almost done. Then I'm going to give it a really good push once I've got them all down. Right. So, take that one first, because he's under that one. Push that one down. And my last one. Right, so that's that one, that's going that way. So here's my little piece that I cut out before. It's not a shaker card, so we don't have to worry if it's got any static on it. Just try not to have too much stuff stuck to it. Now I'm just going to place that down, making sure I'm over all the tape. I don't want the tape. I am now. Let's just slide that bit in. I don't want the tape to come out just in case it wants to stick to something else. There we go. Give that a good push down. So much easier in the small size. The large size took forever. And now what I've got is that. Now, this one is going to get adhered onto that. So we can do that one now. Again, I'm going to use double-sided tape. So it's this size that gets stuck, and it gets stuck down like this. This is probably the hardest bit in the entire one, trying to manage hanging on to this as you go. But I'm also going to use my glue stick. Now, as I said, this one is 1/4 inch tape, and we did 1/4 inch score, so it will fit on there beautifully. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use my glue stick on parts of it as well, just so that my tape won't stick straight away. Let's try there. There it is. So that I've got room and time to manoeuvre a little bit. You can use your glue stick, you can lose anything. You can use glue stick, you can use your normal glue, but just to put a coating on that double-sided tape so that it gives you time to manoeuvre, because otherwise once double-sided tape is down, it's down. No second chances. Right. As I said before, this one is probably the hardest. It's easier this size. So we want to match that up to the other side of that score line. Which will still allow it to fold. This is where you need long fingers or a ruler. So you can see how I'm moving it out as I go, because I've got the glue stick in there, which will allow that to happen. I'm just going to use my ruler in there now, and I'm just going to push down on that. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is the bit that's in there, so that little bit, I'm just pushing down with that on my ruler, just so that it will hold. While that glue dries, it will then allow it to, see, and so that will sit flat, which means you can pop it in an envelope. It'll sit flatter if you've got a better cardstock. That will sit flat, it'll go into an envelope, and then you can send it as a Christmas card. Now, I've got here some little presents that were on one of Mandy's thing as well, the same thing. They're going to sit just there. Now they can be glued on holus bolus because they can go straight onto that. So much easier this size, truly, really. There was so much printing to be done on the big one, so much printing. And I've got so many sheets over there to try and get those girls going down in different increments. Those ladies was just, halfway through that I kept thinking, what am I doing? And then finding just the right music paper. Right. I haven't got you'll understand. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 gold rings. There you go, I sang it. How sad's that? So, in essence, that's all it is. They are so easy. We will go back through and we'll go through the big one. What I'll do with you now is give you the sizes of the big one. As I said before, this one was nice and easy. There are your sizes for this one. The sizes for our large one is 9 inches high, 9 inches by 13 inches wide. So all up, it was 22.5 inches, which is why you needed something bigger than 12 by 12 by 13. Okay, so you score, once you've got this at 22.5 inches, you'll score at the 1 inch line, you'll score 9 inches, you'll score another inch, you'll score at another inch, then you'll score 9 inches further up again, then you will score 1.5 inches, then you'll score at 1 inch and you'll leave half an inch. That little one we only left 1/4 inch. So this one is all wider as well. So each one of these is an inch, so it makes 2 inches altogether up here. It's 9 inches high, top to bottom, and 13 inches wide. So it takes a lot to cover. It's up to you. You can make these in any size you like. Work out, if you're going to make these and you want to do a different size, the easiest way to do it is to work out what size you want your front first. Simple as that. Just work out what you want your finished size to be. Okay? And you'll see, this is what I've done when I've been working them out. I've done little diagrams. I've worked out that, yes, I wanted this one at 4 1/4 high, so that it would go into a standard envelope. This one I wanted 9 inches high. And then I just worked out I needed smaller, I needed a little bit at the start. Then whatever this is, I need 2 of that in the middle with a score line down the centre. Then I need the same as my front piece again. And then I need like 1 of these, because the other part of it is down here, up here, and then something to fold over to join it all together. So 1/2 inch if you're doing a big size one, 1/4 inch, and I probably wouldn't go smaller than 1/4 inch, regardless of what size you do, okay? For your last little bit that folds over. Once again, Merry Christmas. So 12 days of Christmas. Before we know it, Christmas Day will be with us. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and safe and happy, and spend some time with some family. Let's go over and have a look at this other one again with the lights all going, and we'll go back through it. Okay, so it's a little bit darker in here now. I've just got one light on over at my desk. I wish the camera would pick it up the way I could see it. Unfortunately, I don't think it does. I think it glares a bit too much. I really wish you could see it the way I can. I hope you like this one. Once again, wishing you all a wonderful Christmas. With love from me to all of you, thank you for a lovely year. Thanks, guys. Bye.